Some of the foods you believe are healthy might actually be silently destroying your health. It might sound strange, but that's exactly what's happening to many diabetics who think they're doing everything right. In today's video, you'll discover 2 common foods that are dangerously raising blood sugar, and many doctors have already started warning their patients to avoid them at all costs. They may seem harmless, but they could be putting your heart, kidneys, and even your vision at serious risk. And the most shocking part, most people with diabetes are eating these foods without knowing the damage they're causing. So if you can, take notes, because this might be the most important information you hear today. But before we begin, tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel and leave a like, because we post informative videos every single day. Now you can join our channel's exclusive group. As a super member, you get priority responses. I'm notified and reply to you first. But if I were you, I'd go further. As a loyal member, you also get early access to videos before anyone else. Stay one step ahead and enjoy exclusive content firsthand. Don't miss out. Click now and become a member. You've probably heard that corn is a natural food, straight from the earth, right? But what if I told you that this seemingly innocent vegetable is actually causing serious trouble for people with diabetes? It might sound surprising, but corn is one of those sneaky foods that looks healthy on the outside, but can be a hidden danger on the inside. It's high in carbohydrates, yes, but what most people don't realize is how fast those carbs turn into sugar in your bloodstream. That's where the real problem begins. Let's break this down. A single cup of corn contains about 27 grams of carbohydrates, and much of it comes from simple sugars like glucose. According to the American Diabetes Association, foods with a high glycemic index, like corn, can lead to rapid spikes in blood sugar levels, followed by crashes that leave you tired, irritable, and craving even more sugar. Think about it. Have you ever felt unusually sleepy or hungry shortly after eating corn? That's your blood sugar roller coaster in action. And over time, this up and down pattern can lead to insulin resistance, one of the key factors behind type 2 diabetes. Now you might be thinking, but what about fresh corn on the cob? Isn't that better than cornflakes or corn chips? Great question. And yes, it is slightly better. But even fresh corn still packs a glycemic punch. The problem isn't just the processed versions. Even boiled or grilled corn can send your blood sugar soaring if you're not careful with portion sizes. And let's be honest, who eats just a couple of bites of corn when it's hot, buttery, and delicious? Most of us go for seconds or thirds without realizing the impact it's having on our health. I want to be clear here. I'm not saying you can never eat corn again. But if you're living with diabetes or trying to keep your blood sugar stable, you really need to be strategic. Combine it with fiber-rich vegetables or lean proteins to slow down absorption. Better yet, swap it for lower glycemic options like broccoli or zucchini. Little changes like that can create massive improvements in how you feel each day. And trust me, your body will thank you for it. Stable energy, better focus, fewer cravings, all from adjusting one simple food. Before we move on, I just want to say thank you for watching this far. It means a lot. If you've ever felt confused about what to eat with diabetes, or if you've been told everything in moderation but still feel like your sugar is out of control, you're not alone. That's why I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below with the word steady, because that's the goal. Steady sugar, steady energy, steady health. And if you have any questions or need help figuring out your meals, feel free to ask. This is a community where we support each other. Let's not forget how powerful small changes can be. What you put on your plate each day matters more than any medication alone. And the truth is, food can either be your best friend or your biggest enemy when it comes to diabetes. So next time you reach for corn, just pause and ask yourself, is this helping my body heal or hurting it? That one question might just change your health forever. If regular corn is already a challenge for people with diabetes, wait until we talk about the processed version. Cornflakes, corn chips, cornstarch, and all those sneaky snacks made with refined corn. These foods are everywhere. Breakfast cereals, crunchy snacks, even gluten-free products. And the worst part? They hit your blood sugar even faster than fresh corn. That's because when corn is processed, it loses most of its fiber, the very thing that helps slow down sugar absorption. Think about cornflakes for a second. They're marketed as a light and healthy breakfast, especially for people trying to eat clean. But the truth? One bowl can contain as much as 25 to 30 grams of fast-digesting carbs and almost zero fiber or protein to slow it down. According to the Harvard Medical School glycemic index chart, cornflakes rank extremely high, often above 80 on the glycemic index scale. That means they spike your blood sugar almost as quickly as pure glucose. Now imagine starting your day like that. A sugar spike first thing in the morning. You might feel energetic for a while, but a crash will come soon after. And what happens next? You feel sluggish, you reach for more carbs, and the cycle repeats. Over time, this pattern can wear out your pancreas and increase insulin resistance. If you've been feeling constantly tired after breakfast or hungry again just 1 hour later, this could be why. And it's not just breakfast cereals. Corn chips, popcorn with added sugars, and products made with cornstarch like many sauces and gravies are just as dangerous. They're often loaded with added salt and unhealthy fats too, a nightmare for anyone trying to manage not only blood sugar, but also blood pressure and cholesterol. It's the perfect storm, and unfortunately, many of these foods are disguised as harmless snacks, especially in marketing aimed at older adults and people trying to eat better. The good news? You don't have to give up crunch or convenience, you just need smarter swaps. Try a handful of raw nuts, Greek yogurt with chia seeds, or oat-based cereals that have a lower glycemic index, and always check labels. Look for whole corn with the germ and bran still intact, or better yet, opt for whole vegetables instead. Small choices lead to big results over time. You'll notice better energy, fewer cravings, and more balanced blood sugar. Let's connect for a moment. Have you ever eaten something you thought was healthy, only to realize later it was doing the opposite? If so, type "tricked" in the comments. You're not alone. Many of us grew up trusting what labels and commercials told us. But knowledge is power, and the more we understand how food really works, the better choices we can make. So keep watching, because we've got more hidden blood sugar traps to reveal, and some surprising alternatives you'll love. Did you know that many dishes that seem healthy for diabetics can actually be dangerous? Discover the recipes that really work. Stop feeling limited or insecure in the kitchen. My book brings together delicious and easy recipes, specially created to keep your blood sugar under control and add more flavor to your life. I've already helped thousands of diabetics eat better, feel happier, and achieve a lighter life with my book. Every recipe has been tested and approved by those who understand the needs of people living with diabetes. Click the link in the first comment of this video now and get immediate access to the book that will transform your meals today. You've probably heard someone say, potatoes are just vegetables, and how bad can they be? But when it comes to diabetes, this is one of the most misunderstood foods. White potatoes in particular act very differently in your body compared to leafy greens or non-starchy veggies. In fact, they can raise your blood sugar almost as fast as candy. Surprised? You're not alone. Most people never question potatoes. They're traditional, cheap, and comforting. But comfort foods aren't always kind to your blood sugar. Let's get into the details. A medium baked potato has about 37 grams of carbohydrates and almost no fiber unless you eat the skin. Even worse, once potatoes are cooked and mashed or fried, their glycemic index shoots through the roof. According to the University of Sydney's glycemic index database, mashed potatoes and French fries rank as high GI foods, often around 80 or above. That's nearly as high as a slice of white bread. So while you may think you're eating something natural, your body reacts as if you've just had dessert. Now think about how potatoes are usually eaten. Large portions with butter, cheese, or ketchup, and often served alongside more carbs like rice or bread. That's a blood sugar spike waiting to happen. If you've ever felt bloated, sleepy, or irritable after a big plate of mashed potatoes or fries, now you know why. These symptoms are your body's way of saying, hey, my blood sugar is out of control. And over time, these constant spikes wear down your insulin response and make diabetes harder to manage. So what can you do if you love potatoes? First, consider portion control. A few bites won't hurt as much as a full plate. Second, try swapping white potatoes for sweet potatoes. They have a lower glycemic index and come with more fiber and antioxidants. Or better yet, try roasted cauliflower or mashed turnips for that same comforting texture without the sugar spike. You can still enjoy hearty, delicious meals. You just need to rethink your ingredients. Let me ask you this. Have you ever felt conflicted about potatoes? Like part of you knows they're not great for you, but it's hard to stop eating them. You're not alone. If that sounds familiar, type "potato struggle" in the comments. Let's see how many of us are in the same boat. Talking about it helps, and you might pick up a few great ideas from others in this community too. Sharing tips is one of the best ways we learn from each other. Remember, managing diabetes doesn't mean giving up all your favorite foods. It means understanding them. Potatoes aren't evil. They just need to be treated with respect. Your blood sugar isn't just about what you eat, but how you eat it. and how often. So next time you see a pile of fries or a creamy bowl of mashed potatoes, take a second and think about what your body truly needs. That one pause could change everything. Let's talk about one of the most tempting and dangerous forms of potatoes: fried potatoes, French fries, hash browns, potato wedges. They're everywhere, from fast food menus to home kitchens. But when you combine the high starch content of potatoes with deep frying in unhealthy oils, it becomes a disaster for your blood sugar and your arteries. You're not just getting a sugar spike, you're also flooding your body with trans fats and inflammatory compounds. Studies have shown that eating fried foods more than 4 times a week is associated with an increased risk of type 2 diabetes. The oils used for frying, especially in restaurants, are often reused and oxidized, which can increase insulin resistance over time. And here's something few people know: fried potatoes raise blood sugar faster than a candy bar. It's the ultimate trap. Crunchy, salty, comforting, and dangerous. Have you ever had fries with a meal and felt hungry again shortly after? That's not in your head. Fried potatoes digest quickly, creating a sugar spike followed by a crash, which triggers cravings and overeating. For someone with diabetes, this cycle leads to poor glycemic control and can even interfere with medication effectiveness. And let's be honest that most people don't eat just a few fries. We eat the whole portion and often go back for more. What's worse is how normal it all feels. French fries are often served as the default side, at restaurants, fast food chains, and even at home. That makes it easy to forget how damaging they can be. And when you add ketchup, which contains sugar, or pair it with a sugary drink, your blood sugar goes through the roof. If you're craving something crunchy, try roasting zucchini slices, carrot sticks, or cauliflower bites with herbs and a touch of olive oil. These give you that satisfying texture without spiking your sugar. Another smart option is using an air fryer to make veggie fries. No heavy oils, no blood sugar chaos. Small swaps like these make a real difference. And don't forget how fried potatoes affect more than just your blood sugar. They also increase cholesterol and blood pressure, 2 major concerns for people with diabetes. It's a triple threat: sugar, fat, and salt, all in one bite. The sooner you limit them, the faster your body can start to recover and rebalance. So now I want to hear from you. What's your biggest potato weakness? Mashed fries or chips? Comment below with the word temptation, and let's start a conversation. You might just discover a healthier version of your favorite dish from someone else in the comments. Remember, the goal is not to suffer, it's to choose better. The more you learn to identify hidden sugar traps like fried potatoes, the more power you have to protect your health without feeling deprived. And trust me, you can have tasty food that loves you back. Let's dig even deeper. One of the lesser-known dangers of potatoes is their link to insulin resistance, the core issue behind type 2 diabetes. When you eat a food that spikes your blood sugar quickly, your pancreas responds by releasing a large amount of insulin. Over time, repeated spikes force your body to work harder and harder until it stops responding properly. That's insulin resistance. And potatoes are one of the top contributors. This isn't just theory. In a large study published in Diabetes Care, researchers found that people who consumed potatoes frequently, especially in fried or mashed form, had a significantly higher risk of developing insulin resistance over time. And if you already have diabetes, that means even more difficulty keeping your glucose in check, no matter how carefully you count your carbs. Here's where it gets tricky. Potatoes often don't taste sweet, so we don't think of them as sugar raisers, but your digestive system doesn't care what it tastes like. As soon as you chew and swallow, those starches start breaking down into glucose fast. That's why even a plain baked potato can cause a sharp rise in blood sugar, especially if it's eaten alone or in large portions. Another issue is how common potatoes are in our diet. Many people eat them daily, in breakfast hash, lunch sides, dinner plates, or even snacks. That constant exposure to fast-digesting starch keeps blood sugar high throughout the day, making it hard for your body to rest or recover. Over time, this keeps insulin levels elevated and makes fat loss more difficult too. To protect yourself, focus on adding fiber, fat, and protein when eating carbs. For example, a small serving of sweet potato with olive oil and grilled chicken is way better than a giant plate of fries or mashed potatoes on their own. The key is balance, slowing down digestion to give your body time to process the sugar more gently. Also, try switching to less starchy root vegetables like turnips, rutabaga, or even pumpkin. These provide a similar comfort food feel, but with far fewer blood sugar spikes. Add herbs, olive oil, and oven roast them for a warm and healthy side dish. Let me ask you this: do you test your blood sugar after meals? If you've never tested it after eating potatoes, try it once. You might be shocked if you've already done that and noticed a spike. Type spike in the comments. It's eye-opening and could help others realize they're not imagining things. Every bite matters, especially when you're dealing with a condition like diabetes. Potatoes may seem innocent, but when you know the science behind how they affect your body, it's easier to make smarter choices that support your long-term health. Now here's something really interesting and a bit confusing. Reheated potatoes can be both better and worse depending on how you handle them. Let me explain. When you cook and then cool potatoes, some of the starch becomes what's called resistant starch, a form that doesn't raise your blood sugar as quickly. Sounds great, right? But there's a twist. If you reheat those same potatoes too aggressively, especially in the microwave, that resistant starch starts to turn back into digestible starch, losing the benefit. And once again, you're left with a high glycemic food that hits your blood sugar fast. This makes it tricky for diabetics who think reheating leftovers is automatically a healthier option. It's not always the case. So what's the best way to benefit from resistant starch in potatoes? Cook them, cool them completely in the fridge for several hours, and then eat them cold, like in a potato salad with vinegar and olive oil. That combination helps slow down digestion even more. But let's be real, most of us prefer hot food, especially when it comes to potatoes. And that's where the problem lies. Some people try to cheat the system by using resistant starch hacks, but forget that portion control and frequency still matter. Eating cold potatoes every day won't help if you're still overloading on carbs. And not all potatoes are created equal. The variety, cooking method, and portion size all make a difference. A better solution might be to explore alternatives that naturally contain resistant starch, like green bananas or lentils. These provide the same glucose-friendly benefit, without the same risk of turning into fast sugar when reheated. Plus, they offer added fiber and nutrients your body actually needs. Don't forget that context matters too. If you're eating potatoes alongside high-fat, high-sugar meals, that's a different story than eating them with leafy greens and lean protein. The combination of foods you eat is just as important as the food itself. Have you ever heard of resistant starch before? If not, type "new to me" in the comments. And if you've tried cold potatoes as a strategy, I'd love to hear how it worked for you. This channel is about sharing knowledge and practical tips that actually help in real life. At the end of the day, potatoes aren't evil, but they require strategy. If you love them, you don't have to give them up entirely, but you do have to be smart about portions, preparation, and timing. Your blood sugar and your future self will thank you. And if you've made it this far, it means you truly care about doing what's best for your body. And that's exactly why I don't want you to miss what I'm showing next. Right here on the screen, I'm leaving a video that reveals simple food habits most diabetics don't know, and they could be the missing piece that helps you finally feel in control of your blood sugar. Seriously, if you think today's information was eye-opening, wait until you see this. Go ahead and click it now. I'll be right there waiting for you. See you there.